And it's that rule there that makes this game special and stand out from your average card drafting / tableau building game. So per my daily ritual around 1 p.m., I check the Game Nerds deal of the day, which I'm not affiliated with Game Nerds at all, and I happen to see this box art Faraway, and it's Pandasaurus Games. Pandasaurus Games makes some other really good light card games, and this looked like another good lightweight card game. So I thought, that game's really cheap as the deal of the day, order it. So I did. Now let's take a closer look and see what I think. Faraway is a card drafting / tableau building game for 2 to 6 players. Over the course of 8 rounds, players will be trying to get the most points. Each round, a player will play one of these location cards into their tableau. Players will be playing these cards from left to right. And the twist, though, is they will score them from right to left. So a little bit of forward thinking is required to be successful in this game. So thematically, players are exploring an island, and these cards here are different locations, and players will be running across locals that they'll be trying to appease, thus getting points at the end of the game. But along with playing these location cards, players may also acquire sanctuary cards, and those are cards that will kind of supplement the player's scoring at the end of the game. Players will receive a hand of 3 region cards. Players will secretly choose one of said cards. Once all players have done so, they simultaneously reveal them. So there's little downtime in this game, which is always a good thing. Once players have revealed that card, they will add it to their tableau or their... Does it have a name of where we're adding these cards? Play area. It's called the play area. Players will then reveal that card and add it to their play area, again going from left to right. And once all players have done so, you check the exploration duration. That is this number here in the upper left hand corner. Now if that number is higher on the card you just played than the previous card you played, that is how you find and gain these sanctuary cards. The player will gain 1 sanctuary card plus 1 extra sanctuary card for each clue that they have visible in their play area. And the clues are these little map looking things here that appear on some of the region and sanctuary cards. That allows you to draw extra sanctuary cards. You don't get to keep any more of them, but you do get a greater variety and more options, which is great and can help quite a bit. So obviously your first turn you can't possibly get one because there is no previous card played. So ain't nobody getting none of them cards on round 1. And here's the part of the video where I ask you to please click that subscribe button. Thank you. Because Marcy May gets a treat for every new subscriber, and that's why you're getting so fat. Your tongue's sticking out. And then once all players have flipped and revealed their card and added it to their play area, players will then draft cards from the display in the center of the table. The drafting order is determined by the exploration duration. The player with the lowest exploration duration on the card just played will get to pick first. And sometimes you really do care what cards you get from there, and there are cards that in most cases are likely just better cards than some of the others. So there's kind of the crux of this whole playing and drafting thing, is you want to play a card that is higher than your previous card, yes, so that way you can get the sanctuary cards because they will help you with in-game scoring. However, you are increasingly playing higher cards every time. To do so, that will probably push you back in the drafting order, which kind of sucks because you sat there at the table and you watch someone take a card that you desperately needed. But once players have drafted these cards, and there will end up being 1 card left that doesn't get chosen, that card's removed from the game. A new number of cards are revealed equal to the number of players plus 1. So in this case, I have this set up for a 5-player game. Now then you rinse and repeat. These region cards come in one of 4 different biomes, or colors, or suits as I would call them. Red, green, blue, yellow. And in addition to the different biomes, some of the cards will have different resources on them, and they come in 3 flavors as well. I'm not sure what they are, but there is a blue thingy here is what we call it. There is the Red Bull, and then there's the thing that obviously is a pineapple. I have no idea what it is. It says what they are in the rule book, but who cares? Then at the end of the game, a player's play area may look something like this. They will have 8 cards in front of themselves and maybe a handful of sanctuaries. Players will then go and flip every one of those location cards face down. And once all players have done so, one by one, you will go around tallying each player's score. Now, here's where it gets pretty cool. Only reveal one card at a time, starting from the right. So you flip this card over and reveal it, and then you look and see if any points are scored. Oh yeah, this card reminds me too that in addition to the 4 different biomes, the red, yellow, green, blue, and the different resources on the cards also have a daytime feature, thing. Anyways, they are either nighttime or daytime, which some of the cards will give you points per nighttime or whatever, you know, card game stuff. So let's see, this is probably a bad scoring example because it was totally random. So by the magic of a video, we're gonna do a better example of that. All right, so let's take a look at the scoring. So I flipped this card over here. This one will give me 3 points for every red bull guy thing I got here. Well, I do happen to have 2 on my sanctuaries, so that will net me 6 points. My next card here, that one is 2 points per nighttime card. So I have 1 nighttime card, and there's also a nighttime icon here on this sanctuary, so that will get me 4 points. My next card here, that one will give me 2 points for every blue stone. Let's see, I do have a blue stone right there, so that's another 2 points. My third card here, that one is, oh, that one has a prerequisite. Some of the cards here have prerequisites that you have to have before you can do the scoring condition at the bottom. So this one here, I have to have 1 red bull. Well, remember, I did have a red bull in my sanctuary up there. So this one, I can score 2 points for every nighttime card. Again, so that's 2 for 6 points. So once you've gone through card by card and tallied the player's score, the player with the most victory points is the winner. And in case of a tie, the tie player with the lowest exploration duration in their tableau wins the game. So I guess if there's a tie, you gotta go and add all those up. It's kind of interesting. I can dig it. Seems like that'd be a really hard thing to contemplate while you're playing the game. But I haven't seen a tie in this game yet. Usually the scores are not super close. And while the scores in this game aren't really super close that I've seen, most players are engaged the whole time during the game because you don't really know exactly how well someone's doing. It's pretty darn near impossible to tell exactly how well or how not well an opponent is doing. But that's Faraway in a nutshell. Faraway, far away, far away, far away. I'm confused if it's 1 or 2 words. Pandasaurus Games? What is it? Faraway's a lot of fun. It has a lot of great things to it. It's easy to teach, it plays fast, there's very little downtime. It is kind of strange though that the scoring at the end can take almost half as long as actually playing the game itself. Okay, so that's a bit of an exaggeration. However, it does takes a minute to score. So not that that really matters at all, it's just an observation that I'm making. The card quality is decent. The score pad is nice that it comes with. However, it doesn't come with a writing utensil, but I mean, who doesn't have a pen somewhere? The box is a nice size. It doesn't really seem overly big. It houses the rule book and everything. The rule book is nice and clear. Like I mentioned, it is an easy teach. But despite it being an easy teach though, it does take a game for you to wrap your head around it. You almost need to see an example of scoring unfold prior to being able to play the game, which the game is so fast though, it's almost like just kind of explain it and play it once. It takes 15 minutes and then play it again, which the first time I played the game, we played it several times back to back to back. The first game, everyone was kind of like trying to think in reverse because of the way that you score the game from right to left, although you're building your tableau from left to right. So everyone's kind of trying to think backwards and scratching their heads like, I don't quite, understand how this is going to play out exactly. And then your second game, you're much more competitive. And then your third game, I really enjoyed my third game. However, I kind of almost felt that I wish there was a little bit more to the game. So the first game, unsure of what's happening. Second game, yeah, I got this. Third game, I kind of wish that there was a little more depth to it. And then after that though, fourth and fifth games, whatever, I accepted the fact that it is a fairly light card drafting game. Although it is light though, there are things to consider. You do want to get those sanctuary cards, so you do want to make sure at some point that you are playing cards in ascending exploration duration, so that way you can get those sanctuary cards. And you know, you may want to get a couple extra clues here and there, so that way you have a greater variety to choose from when you do get said sanctuary cards. But also sometimes there will be a really good card out there in the drafting display, so you may think, man, maybe I will step back, play a lower exploration duration card, so that way I get to pick that card before someone else takes it, because maybe I really need some of those blue stones to be able to fulfill the prerequisite for a scoring condition on a card that I have in my hand or a card that I've yet to play. And I really enjoy how the cards have kind of dual uses, or not really dual uses, but there's multiple attributes to consider on the cards. The color of the biomes or the suits of them, and the resources that they produce, and the possible scoring conditions, and possibly if it's a daytime or nighttime card. So there's kind of all these little things that actually melt really well together and make for a very enjoyable game. I know I've mentioned, but I think that's kind of what makes this game stand out from other games, is that playing the cards from left to right only to score them backwards. And it's that rule there that makes this game special and stand out from your average card drafting / tableau building game. And that's Faraway. It sort of fits in that filler game category. However, when you're playing it though, it feels like a little bit more maybe than just a filler game, but it doesn't take up much time. It certainly doesn't outstay its welcome, unlike this video where I'm blabbing on and on. And if you enjoyed this video, I have plenty more. A couple hundred. Click one of these things here and watch another stupid video of mine. Thanks.